Hey guys, you got Andy McCann here, and this is where you say your name.
Brandon Phillips.
See, he sometimes you gotta lead him, man. He's strong and like an ox, and he's like sometimes as talkative as an ox. I'm
Yeah.
as weak as the not the Tin Man. He was strong. The other guy. I'm the Scarecrow guy. Strength is my weakness. All right. So we got some questions for you guys today. We're here at Garage Fitness Online. This is Brandon taking all of his knowledge from 20 something years of doing this, taking his CrossFit bound programming, putting it into the system so you can get into Wodify. When you join us right now, it's just free. So come on in. We found we broke some things, and it was mostly my fault because that's how it just normally goes. And so you guys come in, help us find those things to fix. Then thank you. So come in, jump in, at least 60 days for free as we work out the kinks. We know it's going to take a long time to build community and all that, but we're in it for the long haul. We kind of already do this for a living, and we want to help those around us. So typically what we do is I've got questions that Brandon doesn't know, and then I just lay it on him and surprise him, and he has to like on his feet think of like really bad or good answers. So first one is I cut my own hair and nobody ever says anything. Who cuts your hair?
Come on here.
There you go. We both buzz. I have to do different guards. The top is now a 5 because if I do a 4, it's
Yeah.
like where'd my hair go? So
Oh, dude, I do no guard.
is it a
I
razor in
used
the
to do all
shower or
that.
do you have that cool thing that you can like
No, I don't even have those. Actually, I just have a pair of clippers.
oh
I
yeah.
just shave it down. But my next step is with a razor, though, take it all the way down.
Yeah. Is it a number 1 or do you put any guards on there at all?
Zero
Yeah,
guards.
0 just right in there. Yeah. So I still have to kind of play
Yeah.
with this. And the weird one is there's not much to cut, and then I'll be done, and there's like a patch that's like, I'm like, where did that come from? You mean,
Oh,
how did it
dude,
stay there?
I've cut my hair before, and I've been in a hurry, and I've left like a stripe going up the back of my head,
Yeah, you're like, whatever.
and going out in public like that. Oh yeah, I did
If
one
you wear
time
a
as a
hat, it's
school
okay.
teacher. No, when I was a school teacher, you couldn't wear hats. I had a
Oh,
big
right.
street going up, and man, those kids, like kids, are ruthless, and they just pound it. I mean, they just harked me all day long.
I think I'd be afraid to make fun of you,
No, those kids ain't scared of nothing.
especially if you were my wrestling coach, but he's just going to torture me. I think that's when I started
No,
cutting my
wrestling's
hair
insane.
short was wrestling, so people couldn't get a hold of it.
Yeah.
I think,
Well, I used to have hair like down to my shoulders, and then wrestling, I had to cut it.
yeah, no, that wouldn't work. You would have hair. Yeah. The big hair kids today, nah. I think it was illegal to grab the straps that are across, wasn't it? That sounds right. Like you can't like grab it and yank. You might
No,
get
you
your
can't
hand
grab
mixed.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't grab them.
You get your hand mixed in there, but you couldn't grab it. Okay, so question number 1. So this is what I did. I said, "Hey, ChatGPT, what do you know about Brandon Phillips?" And I'm actually really impressed. It goes boom, and it like dropped a whole thing about you. So you are
Huh?
no, you've made it. ChatGPT knows who you are.
That's scary.
I mean, you've made it, man. It said that you had multiple CrossFit Games appearances, placing 11th in 2010.
Yeah, that
Is
was
that
the year the
right?
wheelbarrow broke. I was top five,
Oh, the
and then the
wheelbarrow.
wheelbarrow broke, and I got last.
And then it says
So probably could have been a little higher.
31st in 2011.
Yeah, I had a bad year, 2011. Yeah, it was a
You
bad year at the games.
Man, it knows, dang it, it knows a lot about. I wonder how much it knows about all of us. It says you hold a BS in exercise science from Kennesaw State University. Yeah? Is it right?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's right.
Dude, you have arrived. He
Yeah,
has served as a physical education teacher, strength and conditioning coach, and head varsity wrestling coach at the Walker School. I know actually all that to be true.
yep.
Dude, now I'm a little freaked out. I might have to
You
type
have to
in,
look up your own name now. Make
yeah, to
sure it
see what's
doesn't
in
badge
there.
on there.
Did you start CrossFit Bound in 2013?
Yeah.
So I'm wow, I'm very impressed. I mean, you are a somebody. I'm a nobody. I'm gonna ask it if it knows me. I'm not gonna be hurt if it doesn't. Chatty Pete, you better know me. They can hear me right now. Okay, so I did lay in some groundwork and I said, all right, give me some interesting questions that Brandon wouldn't expect. So here we go. Guys, this actually makes some sense because if you're building out your own home gym, so whether it's in your basement, in your garage, or in your attic, that'd be dumb. Don't do that. You might be thinking, what pieces of gear are the most important? So here's the first question. So, and I love how it wrote it. So, Brandon, I mean, it's actually writing it like it's not just ask this question. So, Brandon, let's say you're stranded on a desert island with only three pieces of gym equipment from a typical garage gym setup. What do you bring and how do you survive? So, not just how do you bring, but I mean, also, wants to know how you're going to survive on its desert island, which maybe you don't have to answer that one, but
Uh, so what piece of equipment would I bring to a desert island? What
you
three
get
pieces?
three.
I would right now, there's probably two different answers to this. For right now, it would probably be a rower or a ski erg, and then a set of dumbbells. And then on top of that, I don't know if I would take a barbell just because the way I am now when I'm training. But I would say piece of gym equipment, probably like a band or something because I really like stretching. So
Ooh.
rowing, I use bands for all my stretches almost. So I definitely have a rower or a ski erg, whichever one of those, it doesn't matter. A good set of dumbbells, whether it's like 50 to 70 pounds, so I can get all my work done with that. And then a good foam roller or some type of piece of equipment to help out with mobility. That would be like my big threes.
Now, being the macho man you are, you could probably cut down a palm tree with your hand and make your own roller.
Yeah,
So
I
you may
could do
not.
that.
Yeah, actually,
Could do
that's
that.
it.
And then I could also use those for lifting weights as well. So it really wouldn't matter that much because I can always I can always deadlift a tree. I can always press
That's
something
right.
overhead. You can throw coconuts as far as you can for speed work and plyometric work. Like you can
Yeah,
do a lot of different things. But but yeah, that'd probably be like my biggest thing is like a set of dumbbells, a rower, a ski erg, and then because you can always go run around an island to get some
right.
work done. And then nice little piece of mobility equipment.
That's a good one. I hadn't actually thought about that. Uh the skier never even crosses my mind. What do you like about that versus like I mean you put it like a rower or a skier. In my head, I'm like, no man, a rower and a skier aren't even on the same level. What am I missing? Tell me about that.
Uh, well, like I said, you can always go for a run, but just getting that low impact upper body kind of aerobic work, get some heavy breathing in. It's a great core exercise, core to extremity exercise. A lot of people don't think about benefit wise when it comes to ski erg. Um, but yeah, I really like that low impact, just upper body aerobic work because everything we do, the C2 bike, the rower, the echo bike, running is all pretty taxing on the legs
Yeah.
and allows that.
I see what you're saying. So
From the upper
basically,
body
it
a little
gives
bit.
you a light upper body thing because I mean you're right. We could you could just run, and the rowing and the running kind of would go hand in hand. But if you did that pull down, and it is true, the core exercise, I think probably I don't like it so much because I actually don't have great arm strength, so it
Yeah.
makes it really tough to do.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's funny. People with big arms do really well with that. People with small arms don't. Like we had a
Yeah,
guy here, he was a semifinal athlete, and I could beat him like on the ski erg all day long. And
yeah,
he's way fitter than I am, stronger core and everything else. He just had really small arms.
yeah.
So that's the only thing I had him on.
Yeah, no, has always been my legs. I don't know from years of soccer, wrestling, or cross country or something, but my yeah, if we weren't allowed to drop in the push jerk, then my numbers would be disgustingly low. Yeah, my strict press is depressing. The other ones get better because I can use my legs. Okay, so that's pretty good. I do like the I would agree also in that stage where you're at the I've got some people that when they say, "Hey, my legs, my back, my thing," I tell them get on the foam roller. And when it's not enough, we have some 4-inch PVC pipe that you can roll
Mhm.
on. And damn, that stuff is like,
That digs in, buddy.
yeah, it make you want to slap your mama.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that means, but I like the saying.
No, that's exactly right. A lot of people don't appreciate the value what a foam roller or any type of mobility equipment can do and provide for you, just like relief wise.
Right. No, that's very true. The and you said originally you said maybe a band. So you go for the roller over a band?
I do a lot of stretches. I probably should share it with everybody. I have a couple of YouTube videos, but I have like a whole routine I use for the band,
Yeah,
upper
if
and
you've
lower
got
body.
is it on your bound page?
Uh, Yeah, it's on my Bound YouTube page. Yeah.
Okay, let me go look for that because I can pull that up, and then we won't have to be like, I should do it later. I could just literally
You
do
just
it
look up
right
like
now.
upper body or lower body, and then you can find all the stuff.
Let's see. Search your site. How do I search? Oh, I just have to click you first. All right. And then what do you think it would be called? Banded
You just
stretching?
put lower body or upper body on there, see what it does.
Lower body. That could be
That's lower body
risque.
stretching routine. You got to keep going down. It's on there somewhere. A
And
lot
what
of
happened?
stuff. Rod Carter on there.
All right, I'll look for it.
It's somewhere deep in the archives. But those lower body stretching routines, though, those are always really good.
Banded. How about banded stretching? Upper body banded stretching?
Yeah, there's a yeah.
Okay, I'll remember to go grab that one. Um, so conversely, I think or additionally or hitherto, I would definitely go for some dumbbells as well. The 70-pound dumbbell is just something that I use to look at and hold dust. I don't would ever use that. Yeah, the 50-pound dumbbell is only in the open when they're like, you must do a 50-pound dumbbell or 55-pound dumbbell, I'll use it. But it's usually like they're like it's a one-arm snatch. I'm like, that's great. It's basically all of my legs. It's totally fine. I can do that. And I'm usually surprising people. They're like, I thought you were really weak. I'm like, it's because I'm not using my arm. I'm using all of my butt and legs and just I'm making my arms stick up straight and then standing, right? And I would probably go for like a 35-pound dumbbell. I think I can do everything and I can
Yeah.
make it worse by going slower or doing like faster
Or you can
reps.
get
Like,
you a really good set of adjustable dumbbells.
oh, that's a good idea. Now I'd be a little bit worried. Like, I like to drop my dumbbells,
You
which
can't drop it.
I know you can't. I
Why would
mean,
you
you
drop it?
can.
Why would you drop it?
Boom.
Yeah.
Um, So here's okay. There's a question that's not on ChatGPT. This is something and I think it's gonna. I think our answer will probably differ because of our strength components. So in wrestling, I didn't understand that when they're like, "Hey, wrestle for 2 minutes and then you get a 1 minute break and you again and again," right? I didn't understand that people when the 1 minute break weren't coming back like, "I'm good, let's do it." I thought everyone felt like me, like, "Yeah, this is good." Only until I hit CrossFit did I realize that people did not recover at the same rate. So while I may not be strong, I recover really fast. So if you let me move from an element to an element, I recover really well. So I have always come up with the idea of like Grace, 30 clean and jerks for time, right? If I drop it every time, I'm faster than I ever will be. I've tried it by twos and it blows me away. But if I drop it every time, I'm pretty quick.
Yeah. Wait, about 2.5, 3 minutes doing
Yeah.
it
No,
singles.
not really. No, mine's like four, but it's 135 pounds, man. I only weigh 135 pounds. That's not true.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I understand completely. But that's why we do like a lot of wrestling stuff, or not wrestling stuff, but interval work, especially in our programming now. Like this past Monday was every 8 minutes for what, 32 minutes. So 4 sets, six
Yeah.
minute wrap with 2 minutes of rest. And you can find, but even then though, like those wrestlers, like it's different. So if I'm a wrestler and I've been wrestling for 10 years, I know how to manage my energy. We might go into a huge um what I don't know, a huge flow event where we're sprawling and then we're going back and forth in on a shot, and you know, big scramble that might be 30 seconds long. That might take a lot of energy out of us. Once we get out of it, we'll be like, take a break, and both of us will be like, and now we're good back into it. What happens to a lot of CrossFitters is like a lot of people, they don't have our type of background, or they don't have
Right.
like a really high endurance or really high intensity style sport. Like even if you play baseball, it's not that way. Now, football's a little that way, and some other sports, but a lot of, ball sports in general do a lot of quick work, rest, a lot of quick work, rest.
Right.
It's whole body work like wrestlers do.
Yeah.
Like wrestlers do. Like I tell people all the time, like people used to always like, how did CrossFit get you in shape for wrestling? I was like, no, wrestling kept me in shape for CrossFit, especially when I was a head wrestling coach. Like that off season, like leading up to the open, we just wrestled every day.
Yeah.
And that kept me in really good shape. But that's down another rabbit hole. But getting back to the point is like you got people that either A, come out way too fast and don't know how to manage energy. So take like one of the Wadapalooza workouts recently. It was 150 wall balls, but every 2 or 3 minutes you had to do 15 power snatches. I think it was something light, like 45 to 75 pounds. If you have somebody who's really fit, but in that first 3 minutes they have to do 15 power snatches, they get done in 30 seconds. If they try to knock out as many reps as possible in 2.5 minutes, I mean, balls to the wall, run to that wall ball, pick it up, and just go nonstop, even when they start struggling. And then they go do another set of snatches. When they come back to that second set of wall ball, I don't care if they got 30 reps or if they did 50 reps, whatever their
Yeah.
limits were in that time, they're going to drop it in half by the time they get done.
Right.
And then it's going to go down even lower. And then it's going to go down. And then they're like, what happened? Instead of being like, you know what? It's every 3 minutes I got a, or 2 minutes, I got a 10 minute, I got 5 intervals doing this. 5 divided by, that's 30 wall balls at a time. If I
Right.
hit 30 wall balls at a time, I finish the workout. And if I do the math and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty confident at 35, 40 wall balls. Maybe if I did like sets of 10 really fast the whole time.
Right.
They don't think about those type of things when they get in those workouts. They're just like, I'm gonna go balls to the wall, see what happens. And like, oh, I died. Well, yeah, you didn't make it.
Yeah. I think there is a benefit to well, yes, to the wrestling and knowing your body, and then in this CrossFit world, I mean, I've done Grace, I mean, probably 30 times, and so I've tried it various ways. And actually, let me tell you my super secret one. So I think my best time was like 4 minutes, and then I dropped it down to sub three. Maybe I have to go double check. I may be overstating my awesomeness. Um, I changed to the ladies bar. And my grip, I mean, I just don't have big hands. And I was like, all right, let me give it a shot because somebody said it. I'm like, let me do it. And I think I dropped a minute off of my time. Now it could have been I was so like out of my mind. I missed like a whole 10 reps. I mean, that could be true too, right?
Yeah.
But it's so weird. Like dropping to the smaller bar. I had a guy, Tim Moy. He killed he's like, oh man, he is probably like 6'3" and he's got muscle. I mean, he's a big dude, so like 135 is not a problem, but he's got to go a long way. Maybe he's
Yeah.
like 6'4". He's very tall. Anyway, he had like a 205 grace time. And he's like, how can I ever get any better? I mean, that is like really fast. And I was like dead. I'm like, okay, I've got, and guys, I've got tricks, man. This is how I keep up with people. I've got tricks. I said, all right, here's what we do. Take off your shoes. He's like, what? I'm like, okay, think about it. If you did a deadlift on a 45-pound plate, you know you're doing like a deficit deadlift. He's like, yeah. I said, technically your shoes are making you do a deficit lift. He's like, huh. All right. So he took his shoes off. I'm like, yeah, that's it, baby. I said, okay. Um, Chalk the bar lines so you know where your hands go basically, right? But don't worry about like gripping, but just have a visual cue. Like my hands go outside this chalk, right? You know what I'm saying? Like take the chalk and like draw it
Mhm.
around it. But don't use the chalk, but like know where your hands go. So do that ahead of time. He's like, all right. I said, I know you typically go a little bit more than ones. You do twos and threes. Try it by one and then don't set up. Just like as it bounces and it finishes, take a deep breath and go. Even if you've misgripped, just go. And I gave him like two other things. I forget what they are. And he's like, all right, I'll give it a shot. 159.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, I'm done. I've pinnacled.
Yep.
I've peaked. I'm out. That's it. Thank you. Bye. I'm like,
I'm
wait,
never
wait a
coming
minute.
back.
What?
See you
And he sat
later.
on what's that?
Then never coming back. See you
Yeah,
later.
that's right. He's like, he sat on the floor for a while. He's like, I don't feel good. I'm like, I wouldn't either. You just like murdered that thing. So it's funny what you can do when you've done it a bunch and you've tested your body. Now, not everybody's the same. Like you probably do Grace in like twos and threes or fives.
No, I mean I could do it right now in twos
Yeah.
if I wanted to.
And it just gasses me out too much. But I think it comes back to what you were saying. You spend too much up front and you get ruined in the backside.
Yeah. Yeah,
You just
that's
have to know that. Okay.
yeah, I mean it's funny. I even talk to a lot of competitors nowadays and they, I'm still like, dude, just go slower on the front end. And they just don't understand. They're like, well, I'll get behind. And I was like, yeah, but you're going to catch them.
Yeah.
Like if you have a 10-minute AMRAP and every round is consistently 1 minute, but you have somebody who starts off and they do a round in
Yeah.
35 seconds, but their last rounds are a minute 35, you're going to catch them. Like
Yeah.
it's just math.
That's like
And
Cindy. People come out way too fast. I'm like, yeah, you're burning it out. You're not going to make it.
yeah.
Okay, so here's a good one. It doesn't necessarily have to be a gym fail, but it could be a funny one. So, all right, Brandon, real talk. I love how it just, I mean, I would never say that, but that's how it wrote it. So I'm good. All right, Brandon, real talk. What's the most embarrassing gym fail you've had? Something you would make something that would make all of us feel better about the time we've dropped a dumbbell, or wiped out in mid burpee. So gym fail. What's a gym fail you got?
A gym fail. After the 2010 games when
You
all
don't have any, right?
yeah. No, that one the wheelbarrow event was the last event we got to the rope climbs. None of
Yeah.
us could climb the rope. I mean, I was like there was a few people that could, most of them ex-military, then there was a couple people that just had the skill down. Um, I was practicing when we got back and I was trying to do like a fast descent down and
Ooh.
my ankle got caught on the rope. And dude, I was probably like 3 feet off the ground. And next thing you know, like I just landed flat on my back and my foot still wrapped up in the rope. I just came down, bow, and I hit the
Damn.
back. And that was probably like one of my
Was
worst.
anybody watching?
Yeah, it was a busy day at the gym.
And you're like, that's what not to do. I was just showing you guys.
I got up and I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Dude, there's nothing worse than getting like your breadbasket knocked and you're like, I can't breathe. I think I'm dying. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't think I'm gonna be able. And you're just like, I can't. When do I get to breathe? I don't know. Yeah, that's a
Luckily,
that's a
that I
tough
had the
one.
wind knocked out of me a few times. So I was kind of used to it, but still at the same time, that was extremely uncomfortable coming down off that rope. And then other than that, though, I don't think I've had too many embarrassing moments in the gym.
I think my worst, maybe not embarrassing in terms of an athlete, but as an owner, back in 2007 when we were trying to buy gear for the gym, there was a on the CrossFit main page at the bottom left corner. It's like if you want to buy gear, get it from this place, and it was called the Garage Gym. I'm like, that sounds cool. Let's just get it from there. So we bought all of our stuff from there. We probably used all the gear for like 2, 3, 4 years before we replaced it. All of the bars we bought turned out when somebody got the idea, they're like, I don't think it feels like the right weight. I'm like, that's what we always use. Turns out all the bars were 38 pounds. So every PR we all had was totally not legit. And we're like, what? Damn it.
Is
So
that one of those where you look at it and you're like, I'm not telling any member
no,
this.
no, right. We're like, let's just replace them. But then somebody was like, they're not the right weight. I'm like, it's okay. It all counts. Nobody knew it. All right. Um, So not a gym fail, but I'll tell you an embarrassing. So we just yesterday was all the voting stuff. So I got an embarrassing voting story from like 20 years ago. So I was complaining as a new minted sales guy. I'm out in the world doing this stuff, and they're like, you got to vote on Tuesday. I'm like, it's so weird. You can only vote on Tuesday. It's so strange. And someone says, no, 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 you can early vote, and then there's even advanced voting. I'm like, what? So I don't think the internet was really such a thing when I was looking it up. So it was hard to kind of like cruise the sites and stuff. Anyway, it turns out you and I could go up to Canton at the voting center and vote nearly almost any time. Like they opened the voting like 3 months before it mattered, right? I'm like, oh, well, I've got time. I'll go up and do. I want to say it was like a what do you do? What was it called when they're like fighting for the nomination? The Republicans and Democrats are doing their own.
Preliminaries.
Yeah, the
Or
preliminary.
whatever.
The damn it, what's
I
that
forgot.
called?
I know what you're talking about.
The whatever the pre-voting stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I don't remember who it was. Let me just pick something that'd be funny. So it was like Mike Huckabee or something. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for him. So I went up there and I voted. I pushed the button or whatever you do. And none of the other stuff was on it. It was just that. And so by the time or maybe it was Ross Pro, I don't know. It was so long ago.
Ross
But
Perot.
yeah, you remember
God.
that? By the
Yeah.
time it got to the Republican nomination or Democrat, whatever it was, they're like, I'm not even running anymore. I threw all my support in behind somebody else. I'm like, are you kidding me? I voted for somebody that's like, it literally doesn't even matter. I was like, damn it. So super embarrassing to have cast a vote, thought I was being civic, and really, it was so early, it didn't count. So I tell that story to let people know that don't be an Andy. Give it some time. Make sure your candidates are going to stay in the game. Um, let's see, equipment wise, that was a good one. And then I don't know if I'd have to think about it a little bit. I would say oh man, actually, I do have a good one. Those same old bars used to have gnarl in the middle of it for some reason. So it was gnarl blank and then more gnarl right in the middle. And I put
Yeah.
that bar right
Oh
up
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah. I know what
nose.
you're talking about.
And oh damn, it skinned my nose. It didn't break anything. I started crying, and everyone's looking at me. I'm like, no, I'm done. Y'all keep going. And I was like, my nose feels like the size of Texas, but it already was. But that
Yeah, I
was
remember whenever we had to use those Alico bars at the what was it? The grid league that went out for a while,
Yeah.
and the male bars had knurling in the middle, and all they had was high rep, like cycling of
Oh
hang
man.
cleans,
Yeah.
front squats, and all that kind of stuff. Dude, they would all of us would taper on our necks because it would
Oh,
just
because you
eat us
would.
up.
Oh, dang.
That's why they don't make Olympic. Well, for like single lifts, they'll have like Olympic. You'll find Olympic bars that have them, like Eleiko bars and stuff, to
Right.
help just like grip. But for like CrossFit, they suck for CrossFit.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think people maybe missed that way back in the day is not all the gear was made for what we wanted to use it for. Like the rubber plates we originally got were literally just metal plates coated in rubber. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think this is going to work. They didn't work.
Wow.
All right, guys. So if we're going to end this here, if you are starting your own, like, I want to work out in my own house facility. There's literally no easier way to work out, but most of you will never use it. There's so many people that, and this is why we're building this out. Find a community, find some motivation. Brandon's got great programming. I will bring you the spunk and motivation as a 106-year-old man. You'll get motivated. You'll find your people. But if you're thinking, I'd like to start that, what gear should I put in my house to begin with? You heard it right there from Brandon, or at least for me, he's above me right here. Get yourself a rower or a ski erg, get yourself some dumbbells, and then get some foam roller or a stretching device. You could start with that and do everything we're doing literally with that.
Hmm.
Yeah?
Absolutely. 100%.
Cool. All right. Guys, we're here for you every week. Well, mostly every week, sometimes every week. We'll bring you something entertaining. And thank you for helping us grow this. Ask your questions on our Facebook page because that's what we're using right now. Remember, minimal viable product. Just get it out there and then we'll figure it out as we go. Thank you guys for helping us. Thank you, Brandon, for being a part of this. We got
Yeah,
your
bud.
Cobra Commander shirts in and I gave them to my coaches and they're like, tell me what this is about. And I explained it. They're like, oh, dude, this is so cool. So yeah, we got them passed out. I'll probably get a team picture in them.
Cool. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care, Brandon. As always, thank you, buddy.
All right. See you, buddy.
Okay, bye. Maybe
Bye.
bye if I can figure out how to stop the recording.